Hey y'all, welcome to all of my replay viewers. Welcome to those of you who are watching live. I'm Shanta Prince, and I help women coaches leverage their gifts and expertise to build profitable coaching and consulting brands. So, a large part of building a profitable brand is sales. And the reason why I laugh a little bit when I say that is because I know that like sales is one of the scariest things to do in business. But lately I have really fallen in love with sales because there are well, actually three things that I think will make a business very successful. And one of them is sales. The other one is copywriting, which is copywriting is still is a form of sales. And also learning how to drive traffic. Now we'll talk about traffic on another day, but traffic basically, when I say traffic, I mean eyeballs. I mean people. You need eyes on your brand. I was just telling one of my clients on Tuesday about how amazing she is and how she needs more eyes on her brand. So you can't have sales if you don't have traffic, if you don't have eyeballs, right? You need people to see your brand so that you can actually sell. So that's a whole nother conversation for another day. Today, I want to talk about 4 ways to level up your sales game because you need sales. And it's so funny that like so many people are like they shy away from sales. And the thing is, you can't really run away from it if you want to be profitable. If you want more clients, if you want to be able to make more money, you gotta sell. But I think that the funny part when I said it's so funny that people shy away from it, it's mostly because sales really isn't that bad and it's really not that hard. I think that the perception of sales is what makes it difficult because you guys know how I always talk about the Kirby vacuum situation. When the Kirby vacuum man used to come to my house when I was a kid and he would sell this vacuum cleaner and he was really pushy. I think our perception of sales is that, okay, because we've had those bad sales experiences, we don't want to look like the Kirby vacuum guy. So our perception about sales, and the other thing when it comes to sales is not knowing how to actually close a sale. I think that makes a lot of people standoffish. It makes a lot of people want to shy away from it because they don't really know sales or understand sales enough to jump in there and start selling. One of my clients said that she was one who was very resistant to certain things at first, and she was resistant to talking to people in the messages. She was resistant to going live and doing all the things around selling. But now she's crushing it. And she said, she talked about how now she just does it without really thinking about it. She just gets into it. And that's what it's really all about when it comes to selling is you really got to practice it. You really got to work your sales muscles to get comfortable with it. But I will tell you that sales is something, it's a skill that anybody can learn. And it's okay if you don't really know how to sell yet. It's okay. But the thing is, you got to be committed to learning how. You got to be committed to figuring it out. You got to be committed to studying and then implementing. So it takes practice, it takes time, it takes a level of mastery, but everybody has to start somewhere and we all start from the same place, and that is the beginning. So today I want to talk about 4 ways to level up your sales game when it comes to closing sales as a coach, mentor, service provider, consultant, any kind of, if you provide any kind of service, if you sell any kind of product, these things can work for you. So from my experience with talking to people on a regular basis, talking to entrepreneurs on a regular basis, working with my clients, and just seeing what's happening in our space, in the coaching and consulting space, um, this is the stuff that I'm getting ready to talk about is stuff that's happening in real time that's preventing people from getting sales. And I want to show you how to overcome those things. Okay. So, first of all, number one, I posted about this yesterday. So if you're following me on my Facebook page or in my Facebook group or on LinkedIn, you probably saw this post. But even if you didn't, you can go back and check it out. So yesterday I talked about how my neighbor, she called me one day and she asked me what I was doing. Well, first of all, I'm an introvert. So and second of all, well, actually, it's really just the first of all, I'm an introvert. So I told her that I was busy. And so then she proceeded to say, "Well, I just want to know if you wanted wanted this cake that I made." So I got it from my desk and like I literally like I kind of flew across the street. Like I got across the street so fast to get that cake. Like, but the thing is, if she had asked me to come over just to talk, I probably would not have went because first of all, I'm an introvert, so I don't really want to talk to you. I mean, I'll message you all day, but no, I don't want to just come over and talk, So if she had asked me to just come over and talk, I probably would have said no. But the thing is, this neighbor in particular, she always had me volunteering to do stuff in the neighborhood. And because she was, she's older, I would just be like, "Oh, she got me doing something else." So I'm like, if she had called me, asked me to come over just to talk, I would have been like, "Okay, she's about to have me doing something else around the neighborhood, so no, I'm not going." So that's the main reason why I was like, "Look, if she had called me just to talk, I would not have went." So I went over and I got the cake, and then we talked for a little bit. So I got the cake, but we also talked, right? So what I was talking about in my post yesterday was, what got me over there was the cake. That's what got me over to her house. And the thing is, what I see a lot of people doing is they're selling the conversation. They're selling the thing that their ideal clients don't really want to do. We all have stuff that we need to do, but we don't really want to do it. And what I'm seeing is so many people are selling the very thing that people don't want to do. And that's causing you to lose sales because you're putting your focus on the unpleasant side of things, right? So what you really got to do is learn how to sell the cake, right? So let me give you another example. So I bought this workout program and the way that they got me was they showed a picture of a mom who's fit. They was like, she's had 4 kids and this is how she looks. And I'm like, oh my goodness, well, I had 2 kids. So I know, I can pull things together and get my workout on point. So I bought the workout program. And when I started the program, I'm like, this is really hard. Like the workouts are very difficult. And I finished the program, but it was hard. And so the thing is, if they had showed me the workouts first, do y'all think I would have bought it? No way. If I had seen even a glimpse of how hard those workouts were, I would not have bought the program. But they sold me on the image of the fit mom, right? So that's what I wanted, right? My neighbor got me over to her house with the cake because that's what I want. I want the cake, but I don't really want the conversation. But we had conversation anyway, right? So I want to be the fit mom. Y'all, my kids are so busy. Both of my kids are booked and busy. So I have to stay in shape to be able to keep up with all of the stuff that they have going on. So I'm like, they sold me on what I want. I want to be the fit mom. I want to be able to do the things that I need to do for my children, be where I need to be. And I want to be able to be around for them for a very long time, as long as I possibly can. So a lot of that goes into taking care of myself, taking care of my health, working out, being healthy, and things like that. So, so they sold me on what I actually wanted, which was to be the fit mom. My neighbor got me over with the cake. So the thing is, sales is just like that. You have to really focus on what your ideal clients want. Okay. What do they want? Are you trying to sell your program or your offer or your thing based on a thing that your ideal clients don't really want to do? Or are you selling them on what they want? Now, for example, I remember studying and taking courses on how to write and run Facebook ads years ago. And if the thing is, um, running ads is a way to get more clients and more customers, right? But sometimes, like ads can get more very technical. And I would say from when I used to run Facebook ads years ago as a done for you service for clients, I don't do that anymore. But when I used to write and run ads as a done for you service for clients years ago, um, it was, kind of for me, it was easier to get in there and do what I needed to do. Now, the ads managers is even more complicated. It's very complicated in my opinion. And this is coming from someone I have a degree in computer studies. I was in IT in the Navy for 10 years, and my technical game is pretty strong. Like I can do a lot of things when it comes to technology. When it comes to running systems and things like that, that's my jam. However, when I go into the Facebook Ads Manager, in my opinion, it's a little bit complicated, right? So if you're selling someone on how to write Facebook ads, like nobody wants to get in there and learn that stuff, right? So, well, maybe people like me, right? You can sell me on how to write ads because that's just what I like to do. I love to do the technical things. But but if you're selling your, let's say you're selling your ideal clients on how to write and run Facebook ads, it may not go over too well with some people, but what they really want is more clients. They want more sales, right? Not necessarily to have to get in there and struggle with trying to figure out how to write and run Facebook ads. So if you're selling on, hey, I can help you get more customers and more clients, right? Because that's what they really want, not the thing that they don't want to do, which is get in there and learn this complicated ad system. So what I'm saying is so many people selling the thing that people don't really want to do, and you gotta sell them on what they actually want. So understanding what your ideal clients want takes time, and you really have to get to know your ideal clients. And one way that you can do that is by engaging with your audience on a regular basis. I'm always preaching about this, engaging with your audience, having conversations with your audience. Okay. All right. So one way to level up your sales game is to focus on what your ideal clients want. What is it that they want? Okay. Now, number two, the second way you can level up your sales game is to stop selling your process. Stop selling your process. Because here's what I mean by process. Okay. If you have a process, let's say you've got a 5-step process, and the first step is this, the second step is this, the third step is this, right? If you're selling your ideal clients this process that they may not even understand, you could lose them. Like, you can really talk yourself out of a sale. Ask me how I know. You can talk yourself out of a sale. If you're selling the process, then you start losing people. And I was working with oh my goodness, you guys, I was working with somebody one day, and I was helping her design her offer. And we were also talking about what she can teach in a workshop and things like that. And the way she started outlining her process, it got so complicated, and I was like, that is not going to work for people. Because as soon as she started explaining it, I'm like, oh, that is going to go over your ideal client's head. And that's what like processes do a lot of times. It goes over your ideal client's head, and nobody's buying anything that they don't understand. So instead of selling the process on how you get somebody from A to B or wherever they're trying to go, you focus on the outcomes. Okay. So the outcome of the process is what people are really paying you for. Don't overcomplicate the situation by going through your process or speaking over your ideal client's head. So, and I see it all the time. People are like, oh, get my, uh 25 step guide or process on how to, I'm just making this up as I go along, but you get the picture. And it's complicated, and it can be very intimidating, especially if they don't understand the language that you're using. So when you're selling your process, that is how you get people from one step to the next step, or how you get people the outcomes they desire. So when you focus on the outcome instead of trying to sell the process, then people can clearly see what they're going to get. Okay. People can get an understanding of what is going to look like. Like, for example, an example of selling the process is, it could be like what I talked about earlier when I bought this workout program. If they sold me on the process of like, okay, you're going to have to do this first, and then you're going to have to do these kind of exercises. And then on the third day, we're doing leg day. And then on the fifth, and then that, like that, I would have ran that. They would have lost me. Right. But they sold me on the outcome, which was the fit mom. Okay. So that's what I'm focused on. But thankfully, they sold me on what I wanted. And even when I went through the process, my mind was still thinking about the fit mom because that was my goal. Okay. So stop selling your process, sell the outcome instead. Okay. Now, number three, the third way you can level up your sales game is by actually selling or sharing your offer, talking about what you're offering. That's what I mean by selling. Talk about what you offer. What I see most often is that people want more sales, but nobody knows what you offer, or nobody knows what you can do, or people don't know how they can work with you because you don't talk about it enough. So when it comes to sales, you got to talk about what your offers. You got to talk about what you got going on. You've got to give people invitations. You got to invite people to join you, invite people to a call, invite people to work with you. So what I see is that people don't do that enough. Okay, you got an offer, or you got a course, or you got a program, you got a service, whatever it is. You're not talking about it enough. Now, I don't mean post about it every single day, all day, but you do need to talk about your offer so people know what you can do and how you can help them. So, mention your offer more, sell more. Literally, whether you can post it on your page, you can send it out via email, you can talk about it in conversations. Talk about some of the outcomes that you help people to achieve. So, my clients, so inside of my program, we're doing a visibility challenge this month, and we've been having a lot of fun with posting things. And this week we're working on writing powerful captions, and then next week is stories week, and then the week after that is reels week, and then after that we'll be pitching to get booked on other people's platforms. But it has been a lot of fun, just really showing up and engaging with seeing them engage with their audiences and seeing them telling their stories. It has been a really fun time, and we're not even all the way through the first week yet, and it has been awesome. But a part of that challenge is to talk about what they offer and how they can help people so that their audience knows how they can help, how they can serve them. Okay. So mention your offer more, sell more. Okay. Now, the other thing about selling, and this moves us to number four, the fourth way you can level up your sales game is by creating content, which is my favorite. So as you can see, my face just lit up. Creating content is something that I don't know if people really understand the power of content. Just recently, I've had two people reach out to me about how they can join my program just from content that I've shared. So one of the things, as a matter of fact, this Saturday, I'm working with a very small group of ladies to help them create their content marketing plans. There's a direct correlation between your content and your sales. So about 80% of marketers, is it 80 or I think it's 80, you guys. Don't I will have to find the right statistic. I believe it's 80. 80% of um 80% of marketers, they determine the success of their content by the sales. Okay. So they determine, okay, that content led us to sales, so that content is successful. So they leverage their content to drive sales, and then they determine if content if a certain piece of content was successful based on the sales that it brought in. And so that's a very interesting thing to think about, that the content that you create can directly impact your sales. And one of the things that I like to really focus on with my clients is not just creating content, but how to leverage that content to actually drive sales. If you are a coach, mentor, consultant, service provider, and you don't produce new content every week, you are behind. Okay. Now, don't get mad at me for saying that, but you're behind. But the thing is that's okay, because you can easily get in the game and get yourself on a regular routine of creating content every single week. So when I'm live here every Thursday, some of you catch the live and some of you go back and watch the replay. And I'm here every week talking to you, engaging with you, and creating new content every single week. You need to be able to do the same thing for your audience as well. And I know, like, people always want to find a shortcut. People always want to try to figure out, well, how can I do this without creating content? But every expert has clues, right? So success leaves clues. And so when someone is considering working with you, they may want to go back. I had a client who, she asked me for some of my content before she joined my program. She wanted to see what kind of content I've created, so she can consume my content to decide if she wanted to work with me or not. Thankfully, I had plenty of things to show her, plenty of videos, plenty of freebies, all kinds of things to show her. But that's only because I've been doing this on a regular basis. Another thing about content is that when I go to get booked on other people's platforms, guess what they do? They ask me for my social media handle so they can go see my content. And so you have to really think about how you want your brand to be perceived. And here's the thing, when I say that branding is about, I always say this, branding is about perception, not deception. And what I mean by that is that you don't have to be anybody who you're not. You don't have to, deceive people into thinking that you're something that you're not. But branding is about perception. And there's a certain perception that comes with a person who creates content on a regular basis, right? The perception is, okay, this person is an expert. This person is dependable. Every week I get a new video, or every week I get a new email about some new a new training that's out, or a new blog post. This person is reliable. This person can help me with this specific issue. And so you have to really think about how you want your brand to be perceived. But every expert, if you are an expert in what you do, if you consider yourself to be an expert, which you should, because people pay experts, right? So even if it's just one step, even if you're just an expert in one step, that's totally okay. But if you are an expert, then you should have something that you're standing on that people can actually go and see and say, okay, yeah, this person is perfect for me. This person can help me. I can, I can work with this person. So every expert should have some type of work that they produce on a regular basis. Okay. So I cannot tell you how many times I come across someone and I hear them speaking and I'm like, that was really good. What else do they have? And I go and look for more stuff, like more videos, more blog posts, or even a book, and I don't find anything. And it's the most frustrating thing, because it's like, I really want to hear more of this person's message. I want to hear more of what they're talking about. I want to learn more from them. And then I go and search and can't find anything, right? And so we are experts, and we should produce work from our expertise on a regular basis, right? It's such an amazing thing to see when someone is working their expertise. They're mastering what it is that they do. But what I'm seeing is that so many people just don't do that. They want to find a way around creating content. They want to find a shortcut. And there are some ways to shortcut some things, but at the same time, you don't want to be perceived as a person who takes shortcuts, right? If you want people to pay you, yes, people are going to get results faster when they work with you, right? But there's so many opportunities that come from creating content on a regular basis. It makes a huge difference when you're being considered for other opportunities, and when people are considering joining your program or working with you. So if you're in this space, you should be on a regular routine of creating content. So this Saturday, I'll be working with a small group of ladies, helping them to create their content marketing plans. I'm helping with the topics. I'm helping them to create powerful scroll stopping headlines so that when their ideal clients are looking at their work, they can stop and get into it, right? Because that's the first thing about grabbing your audience's attention, right? Is hooking them in, because if they're not interested in your title, guess what they're going to do? They're going to keep scrolling, right? So we're working on titles, we're working on topics, we're working on creating high quality content. We'll be talking about that as well, and so much more. Okay, so that's going on this Saturday. I don't even know if I have. I think I may have one spot remaining, you guys. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, just send me a quick message. If you're watching me from YouTube, just shoot me an email at info@shantaprince.com if you're interested in grabbing a spot. I think I have one more spot left. The idea is to keep it small so that I can focus energy on each person so they can leave with a solid game plan for their content marketing plan. Okay. So we talked about 4 ways to level up your sales game. We talked about number 1, selling based on what your ideal clients want. If you don't know what your ideal clients want, then it's your responsibility as a marketer to find out what your ideal clients want. Number 2, we talked about stop selling your process but instead of selling your process, sell them on the outcome that you're going to help them to achieve. And then we talked about number three, mentioning your offer more, because so many people they don't want to come off as salesy, so they don't talk about their offer enough. Listen, we're in business and we got to sell in order to make money. Okay, so don't be shy about mentioning your offer. And then we talked about number four, creating content on a regular basis and leveraging your content to drive your sales. If you're interested in joining me this Saturday, shoot me a message on Facebook, or you can email me at info@shantaprince.com. I believe I have one spot remaining. So make sure, if you want that spot, make sure you let me know. And I will see you guys on next Thursday at the same time and at the same place. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll be seeing you again soon.